Okay, let's chat editing presets. Something you may not know about me, but as much as I love editing, I was anti-presets for such a long time. My team kept saying, Louise, people really want some presets, especially in the Click Love Grow style. And I kept thinking, well, I teach editing. I think hand editing is so important. You can't use presets without knowing how to hand edit. And look, it took me a little while, but I am there. I have been converted. I'm in love with our presets. And today I want to show you some of my favorite photos and the presets that I love to use to keep things so simple. Now, first up, we have never designed these presets or promised them as a one-click solution. I think that's a lie. Presets cannot be a one-click solution because how do we know what the exposure is in your photo to start with, or the colors that exist in the background, right? But I'm going to show you that choosing the right preset stylistically to give your photo the oomph that you're looking for can actually be a very quick solution. Sometimes they are one click, which is always a bonus, but the other reason it's fantastic is it lets you stylistically try things on. Maybe there are editing choices that you would never have made because you didn't know how to take that path to begin with, so you get to try it on, see how it fits, see if you like it or it's a direction you want to take your photo editing in. It's still going to save you lots of time. So let's dive in and go have a look at some of my favorite photos. Okay, so let's have a look at the presets in action because I know you want to see how many clicks they take and how much it works. Now, to be honest, we never designed our presets as one-click solutions, and yet it suits so many images in as little as one or a few clicks, and I'm going to show you now. So this is a pretty standard raw photo. You know, the colors are great. It's nice, soft light. He's lovely and sharp. But it just looks a little flat, right? And we want to give it that little oomph, that little pizzazz, which is why we're using presets to start with. So for me, this is a light and airy photo. I'm coming over to my presets here. I'm going to go straight for light and airy to see what that looks like. You see the difference there. One thing I recommend with your presets is notice how when I see my arrow, I hold it over the preset, it gives you a little preview of what the preset is going to look like. Now, if you jump through the presets, that can be handy, but you're kind of jumping from stylistically one style to another. You're never comparing it with the original. So what I recommend is bring your arrow over onto the gray, slide it onto the preset. You can see the difference, bring it back, and then try another one, right? Because then you're always bringing it back to the original. So I know for sure I'm going to be over here in the light and airy, but do I want the base or do I want the blues? Because there's so much blue in his eyes, in his jumper, in his jeans. But you know what? Well, there's the blue one. I think I'm going to go for the base. I'm going to click it, and in one click, let's have a look at this. We can see the difference, right, in the photo. But I do want to add a couple of things. I want to bring up the warmth tiny bit just so it kind of enhances the warmth of this background here in the eucalypt and the morning sun. And I'm going to increase the blacks a tiny bit more as well. And so that is then giving us the final oomph, right? I love it. His skin tone looks good, which just means that we've got that little bit of extra. So have a look. Whoops, we'll bring it up big. Couple of clicks. And it's giving me the finished product. Now, if I had taken a whole series of this shot, I use a preset, I make the little additional clicks that I want, so I increase the warmth and I increase the blacks, that's the only thing I did, then I could select this photo, get all the other photos in the batch of this particular shoot, and then I could sync it. So it's saving me time at the start, and it's saving me time by getting that consistency through all the images. So that's my first one that I love. Now, let's have a look at one that is totally different. This is the edit. I'm going to show you the edit first. The edit that I've chosen, but this is what we started with. So beautiful beach, cliff beach that I do here in Australia. I love that there's some people out here looking out to the ocean. There's already a lot of fun color happening in this one. And so I really just want to bring that to life. And so again, going over to a preset, it gives me different options. It means I don't have to play around from scratch over here. So I think for this one, I really want to go with the clean and colorful because I don't want the colors to be changed. I just want them to be brought to life. So I have the clean and colorful base, the Click Love Grow base shot, or I have the color pop. And if I go back and forth, bringing it back to the original to compare, I think for me, I'm going to go the color pop because I love what it does to the aqua here. We're going to look side by side. See how it brings it to life here? Brings out that color in the ocean, brings out the warmth and the greens in the cliffside as well. And to be honest, I don't think there's a lot that I would change with this. I could maybe bring the exposure up a tiny bit. You know, I like things bright. That's how I like it. But everything else, I think I'm not going to touch anything else. I really like it. So that's our before and after for the beach side. That was the Click Love Grow Clean and Colorful. I used the color pop. And again, if I had a whole series of this, I would be happy to use that preset across all of them. Okay, now let's have a look at, again, something totally different. This is a silhouette. Now, one of the things I love about presets that really comes to life with this particular photo is it's giving me different options. So if I did not even know where to start, I'm able to have a play and see what these different colors behind them look like, or these different tones, right? So many different options that I can kind of play with. Probably not black and white. There's too much cool color in here. So you know what? For this one, I'm going to go with the light and airy pretty pinks. Okay, so one click, it already gives me a pretty good shot, but this is a silhouette and I really want to black out these colors here. So I'm going to increase the blacks, maybe increase the contrast a tiny bit. There I have my full silhouette. And you know what? I could come and play with the colors a little bit more. Probably the way that I would do that is by coming up and doing a sky select, which I think is so cool that Lightroom has this toy now, this trick, this tool, this technique. I would choose the sky select and then play, but you can also play with your colors here, right? One thing I love about editing, especially for images like this, yes, you can be true to life, but you can also have fun playing with the colors. And you know, for these beach silhouette skies, I love the purples, I love the pinks, I love to be able to bring those out. So I started off with my light and airy pretty and pinks, and then I tweaked it a little bit to suit the shot that I wanted, particularly it being a silhouette where I wanted to make sure that I had the full silhouette. Of course, I'm also going to want to play with selecting the subject and then completely bringing them into shadow. Okay, so that is a silhouette shot. Right, let's have a look at another one. This is let's do this one. I love this cuddle shot. So straight away in this one, there's so many earthy tones already. We have the greens, we have the sand behind them, which has got lots of warmth. We have those blues and greens and cream in what the mama is wearing. And this is such a gorgeous moment. So I think for this one, I'm going to go straight for my warm and bold. I was thinking perhaps the earthy neutrals might suit, and so I can have a play and see where this might take us. Now for these ones, definitely not a one click, right? This is going to stylistically give us some tones to play with, and then we're going to tweak it. But for me, the warm and bold is what I'm falling in love with as I hover and hold these overs. So I really love how it brings out the tones in Mum's hair. I'm going to go the warm and bold. Let's see, do we go the base? Do we go the soft shadows? Let's go the soft shadows here. And to be fair, I don't think that there's a lot that I necessarily want to change with this, but if you wanted to, you could come in. Maybe I'm going to lighten her up even more. Whoops, just ever so slightly, maybe warm up a tiny bit more. No, I think the preset got it right. But just remember, with our presets, you can make the tweaks and adjustments so that it suits your shots. We never designed these to be one-click solutions because your exposure is always going to be different. The tones you have in the background is already going to be different, but you have so many options that you can go through and have a play with to see what you'd be like. So here's the before and after. You can see how it really just brings it to life. It pulls out these gorgeous color tones in her hair. It picks up the warm tones around her in the background. And then we haven't taken anything to the extreme. It just really gives it a nice, beautiful, finished feel, which I love. Let's have a look at one last shot. This adorable face on my screen. And look, yes, this would be so much fun to edit in color. My mom has either one of these, or I don't know if it's this one, but I have a whole series of this where he's sitting on the log and he's looking really cute, like an old man, an old logger man, ready to go and fell some trees in his little knitted cardigan. But for this, there's so much variation in tone that I think this is going to be fab in black and white. And I love the black and white that we have created for the Click Love Grow presets. So we can have a play here, hover it over and have a look at the samples. I think I'm going to go with the little contrast, and I probably want to go in between. So I'm going to go little contrast and then drag up the blacks a little bit more, maybe the contrast a tiny bit more. But how great is that? It's such a beautiful, rich black and white. And why? Because it has a richness in texture. So all the texture in the leaves, the texture in the log, the beautiful texture in the cardigan he's wearing and all the ferns around him. And because it has all those tones, black and white is so great at accentuating texture, which there's so much of in this image. And then also, I just think it's beautiful because we have variation in tones as well, from light to dark. So we have, this beautiful soft light on him, the catch light in his eyes, and then, he's framed by the beautiful darker tones. So you could even have a play with, oh gosh, I keep doing that. And then I'm like, leave it. It was so well suited already. I really love this shot. I think the black and white contrast that we chose a little contrast, and then we brought it up a little, okay, because I really wanted to find the in-between of these two. So that's what we've done there. That is the before and after. Very few clicks, but that's a little introduction to our Click Love Grow presets on some of my favorite photos. Now, as I said before, I am someone who loves hand editing. The editing process for me is half the fun. I love shooting, I love taking the images, and then I love sitting down on my computer and playing with them and getting creative. But also, I'm a very traditionalist when it comes to editing. I love the clean edit. I like things to look true to life, but I know the power and the impact of that oomph, that zhuzh that we give the photos, right, from an edit. And the presets save us time. It gives you creative options of ideas that you may not have played with before. I would love to know, what's your favorite? Have you played with them yet? And which one are you loving for your work stylistically? And of course, if you don't have them already, check them out on the website. You can see some beautiful before and afters about how they've been used and all the different options that we have available to you. And I look forward to sharing more of our presets with you soon. Okay, bye.